I can't believe this. Miyako won't say a word to me anymore. I don't know what to do. She's always difficult, but when she gets moody, I really can't handle it.
I see. Well, I'd better get going now.
Huh? Already? It's still early.
Hey, is something going on?
I just saw our neighbor. The old lady, she was out there.
So what about it? Huh? That's ridiculous. Don't say that.
But I swear, she was right outside, standing there staring.
Pardon, but who is this old lady?
She's just seeing things. The old lady next door died sometime back around New Year's.
Huh?
Thanks for the food. It was great. Check, please.
Oh, of course. Be with you in a sec.
Hometown Journal.
Oh, oops. Sorry about that. I handed you the wrong card. Here, this is the real one. You can't let this information get out. But that dead body found at the dam, it looks like he was an industrial spy, from a foreign country, no less. He was getting in, disguised as a delivery guy. I wanted to speak with you because it was your department he was targeting. Thought you might know something.
Sorry, but the work I do here is nothing more than basic research, really. Not only that, it's nearing completion now.
I see. That's a shame. Well, sorry to bug you.
What the heck are those things? Huh. Hey, where's your mother at?
A public security agent gave me his card. He could just be an idiot, but... You're right, probably so. I'll be careful. He did get my fingerprints. Right. If he checks the database of foreign residents...
Don't tell me he's not here.
The lady from the brewery.
Well, hello. We thought you'd be here. This town doesn't have many convenience stores or anything. What have you been doing? For food, I mean. Mr. Kaibara asked me to bring you something for lunch. It's still warm. I'd eat it now. There's probably tea or something in the back of the fridge. Why'd you do that?
How'd he know I was here? What the hell does he care if I starve or not?
Don't ask me. It's none of my business. I was just doing him a favor.
Great. So I guess that woman knows I'm staying here too?
That woman? She's your mother. You shouldn't call her that. Good grief. Now what are you gonna have for lunch? What a waste of food. And after I went to all that trouble, too.
Wait a sec, you mean you made all that, not her?
Mm-hmm.
Remember to air these out every now and then. I'm sorry to trouble you with all these little details at a time like this. Try to bear with me. I'm still such a burden, though I died 11 years ago. Why does my ghost still live on even after all this time, Kaibara?
Even if you were nothing more than a ghost, I still loved you.
And I'm truly grateful for that. I know it hasn't been very long, but I couldn't have made it this far without all of your support.
You say that, but all this time I've been a bit of a ghost myself. That's why I want to go with you.
I can't agree with that. It wouldn't be right. After all, this is punishment for what I've done. There's no reason why you should have to join me.
Construction workers, huh?
Oh, Chief.
Well, now, you quit smoking after all these years.
Yeah.
Nice work. Not that it'll do you any good, though.
Anyway, you know the Kiyoshi Haze gang, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been popping up in Sweden lately, and I don't know why. Any guesses?
Well, think about it. You got that kidnapping that happened about 10 years back, right?
Huh?
For the 18 months or so before that kidnapping incident, there was this sudden rash of missing children reports in Western Japan.
That's right. I read all about that.
Individually, they seem like ordinary disappearances. So it took a while before we were able to connect the dots. Then it stopped. After the Sweeten case, the string of missing children reports dried up like nothing happened.
But the kidnapper demanded a ransom in the Sweeten case, and he died when the police cornered him. It wasn't just a disappearance.
Right, exactly. That's what I thought. Pretty strange, huh?
You're saying that the Sweeten kidnapping was originally supposed to be a disappearance just like all the others. But then something unexpected happened, and it ended up turning into a ransom case.
Now, that I don't know. Wonder if the cops are giving us the whole story, though. Anyway, there's just something different about that town, you know?
Himeko, Ogami. In the past few years, she was nothing but a small-town fortune teller. But back in her heyday, she had the country's leaders eating out of the palm of her hand.
There are even rumors she had a hand in the post-war security pact with the U.S. I imagine her connections with the construction workers must stem from way back then.
Oh, I see. So the construction workers might have served as negotiators. With the people from the kidnapping ring, I mean. But who the hell were they, and why were they kidnapping children?
Well, you know, we didn't always have the kind of biotech we do today. In fact, up until a few years ago, we used to get a lot of traffic from Southeast Asia.
Hold on a second here. Are you talking about illegal organ trade?
The organ traffickers didn't always have outside routes to rely on. And to stay in business, they had to get their supplies from somewhere.
The missing children.
Miyako. Chio? Hey, wanna come to my house and play? Sure, but why? Why? I want to be friends with you, of course. Come on, please. Sure.
You could have come in. It must have been a pain to wait outside like that.
Well, anyway, Makoto was there. I made sure he had something to eat, just like you asked.
It means a lot.
Well, I'll see you later.
Kay, hold on a minute. I'm afraid I have one last favor to ask of you.
One last favor?
I've been wanting to have you over for a long time, but I wasn't sure how to ask. Miyako, over here. Right.
The construction workers on that list, they're all in Kumada now.
Kumada?
That's what my sources are saying. So that got me thinking. Didn't that Ogami guy's wife move out there right after he offed himself?
Don't just stand there, girl. Come have a seat. I know you don't like me. Honestly, you can like or dislike me all you want. But that won't change the fact that only I can understand you. You're thinking, what's this old woman saying? I know that face. But I wasn't born an old woman, you know. Back when I was your age, the gods came to speak through me as well. You don't believe me? We are a bit different, though. Unlike you, the spirits that came to me were not the great gods. Yes, I couldn't have been much older than you when it happened. When Mistress Himeko came for me, that is. She'd been waiting for a child with my powers. She said I was destined to be her Saniwa. That's the reason I was born into the visible realm at that time.
The word Saniwa means one who judges a god, or something like that.
An ancient Shinto term, if I'm not mistaken.
A vessel and a judge must operate as a pair in order to channel and pacify spirits. So you see, it's no surprise that a Saniwa would seek out a medium.
That's why that woman from the Ogami sect was targeting Miyako. She needs her other half.
But come on. You expect me to buy that?
You know, Tarou told me something you should hear. He said Miyako is the reincarnation of his sister.
Huh? Oh. That's why he was grilling me about reincarnation. I thought he was talking about himself. That little brat must have said something to Miyako that upset her.
I hate to say this, but when it comes to Miyako being possessed by the Lord of One Word, you might be the main cause. Because you want to believe it. Because you've been convinced.
Huh? I wouldn't go that far.
Perhaps Miyako is simply reciting a line from the Kojiki, or a paper you wrote. But I think there's a part of you that doesn't want to believe that wants to believe it's something more. Ever since this started, you've resumed researching the Lord of One Word more fervently than ever, correct? And now, whenever you look at Miyako, there is skeptical concern, but also perhaps a subconscious glimmer of hope. As you know, Miyako is a clever child. Even if you haven't said a word, I'm sure she sensed it. Perhaps I've overstepped my boundaries. Please forgive me. However, I felt obligated to express my professional opinion. Of course, if anything further develops, please don't hesitate to contact me.
Dr. Hirata. Does this mean you won't be coming back to Sweden anymore?
I'm afraid so. The longer I stay here, the more I seem to lose myself. Even putting that aside, my reason for coming to Sweden in the first place was to observe Tarou Komori in an attempt to further my research. Of course, I had hoped that my therapy would help treat his PTSD in the process, but that wasn't my primary motivation. More than that, I had a personal desire to find out how his experiences had influenced his neurological development. In that respect, I'm really no different from you, am I?
Miyako.
I don't get it. Why can't I say her name? I'm soul traveling and I didn't even realize it. Wait a sec. This is... Makoto's mom.
Or a holograph, at least.
Mr. Kaibara. Or I guess I should say Snark.
This is a world of my imagining, and yet you still managed to find a way to barge in.
Sorry about that.
No need to apologize. I'm just a bit surprised, that's all. By coincidence, it seems the two of us are thinking the same thing at the same time once again. Well, not coincidence, but implicate order.
Implicate order?
The idea is that the universe contains a kind of underlying order that governs both consciousness and the physical world. Carl Jung called it synchronicity, believing that an unseen dynamic could combine two seemingly unrelated events to create something meaningful.
Is that like the hidden realm?
Actually, no. Try to think of it this way. You exist inside the universe, and the universe exists inside of you.
A part contains the whole. I think I've heard something like that. Like, our memories aren't stored in just one section of the brain. They're actually some codes spread out across the whole thing. LTP, right?
Yes, exactly. This place and the real world. Both could be nothing but holographs projected by a mind in a completely different dimension.
Something that's really been bugging me. When I saw Makoto's mom over at your house, she made this really scary face the last time I talked to her.
I see. That must have been when she made her final decision. But there's no need for you to feel responsible. After all, she was waiting for the time to come.
What are you trying to say?
I see. Perhaps the reason that you and I met here today was because the implicate order wanted me to tell you that.
Snark!
It will be painful for Makoto, but I assure you his mother has suffered far worse. I hope someday he can understand that.
Wait! What do you mean? What about Makoto's mom? And Makoto, where is he right now? Kumada? Is he still in Kumada? I want to go there now! What? Is something stopping me?
Hurry. Hurry.
Who's there? Mizuka? Why can't I do it? Why can't I go to Kumada?
Tarou!
Wake up!
Mr. Kaibara said he had one last favor to ask of me. He wanted me to bring you this letter. I wanted to read it myself. Over and over again, I thought about it. So, open it, please. Just read it.
This is bad. We gotta find Makoto. But how do you know what's going on? That Suzuki guy told me. All of this is a huge mess. He said he might know the truth about you and your sister's kidnapping, too. But wait a sec. You mean it's connected to Makoto after all? Yeah. It sounds like the two of you might have been kidnapped as some kind of replacement for Makoto. And since his grandma is dead now, the only one who knows the whole truth is Makoto's mother. Makoto's still over in Kumada, isn't he? Those construction worker guys are there, too. Hold on. I don't follow. You gotta explain this a little better. That's the last bus to Kumada! Hey! Hold on! Come back! Stop!
You were the first one to be kidnapped, Makoto. Not the Komori children. Your grandmother used her old connections to negotiate with the kidnappers. She told them the Komori girl would bring them more money. Your father couldn't take it. When he found out, he was so stricken with guilt that he didn't want to live anymore. That's when he took his life. I wanted to go with him, but I couldn't bring myself to leave you behind. And yet, I couldn't bear to stay in that house any longer either. Please know that I never forgot you, not even for a second. Forgive me. I knew that if I didn't tell you the truth, you would only suffer. But I should have known.
Let's go back. I'll have my dad drive us to Kumada. Come on. We don't have time. Let's go! What? Huh? Hold on!
In 2008, Brian Whitworth of Massey University postulated the essence of the universe was information. Therefore, what we perceive as reality could be nothing more than a virtual world created by information processing. His critics mocked his ideas as nothing more than science fiction, but many others believed in their potential. However, whether people believe it or not, that information has already become a part of the universe.